Welcome back to Boss Guys Reviews, and we're going to continue our Transformers and G.I. Joe crossover. Bumblebee as A.W.E. Striker and Stalker 1/18 scale retro action figure. This is part 2. I have a part 1 out there, so look for that. It's going to be part of a playlist, so if you watch the first one, it'll bleed into the second one, so cool. So here we go, yeah. I'm not going to do transformation for Bumblebee because it's not that bad. The upper body is the most fiddle part. I got most of it without having to look at the instructions, but other than that, it's not too bad. I'll show you what it looks like. There's a lot of great reviewers out there doing transformations, so I'm just trying to keep this different. There's a reason I'm not doing it, and it's not that hard. Nonetheless, here we go. Here's the A.W.E. Striker. And I must say, this is where this set shines. The A.W.E. Striker is fantastic. Robot mode, we'll talk about my final thoughts about all that. But let's take a look at the A.W.E. Striker. Let's get Stalker here out the way. One thing I will note is when you apply your cannon to the top, it doesn't have those spring shocks that we're used to seeing on the normal A.W.E. Striker, because this is the bottom. It's just pegged on. But I still recommend picking up your vehicle, like, you know, one way or the other, and pushing this on, because that's very tight. As you see in the hands, I still couldn't get that in. I don't really care at this point, but you know, it's very stiff here, and if you want to store one, you can put it right there. I did forget to put Stalker on this peg behind Bumblebee's head, but I'm sure you've seen that before. So he would stand right there, and the cannon would go there. In the last video, I was trying to get it as much as I can, but I didn't make it through to get the whole one video. That's why we're here at part 2. It's a solid piece in vehicle mode. And I must say, they hid the parts quite well for Bumblebee. So here's the front. You see nothing of Bumblebee. The top of it. We have the Star United States A.W.E. Striker right there. Like I said, this is a good solid. It connects nicely. You can see where it comes apart, but it's quite tight if you get everything tabbed in. Here in the interior, we have a steering wheel. We do have this piece here. I like the seats on this guy. It has a silver around the outside and the padded done in black. And it's actually really roomy in there. You might even get maybe some of you maybe get some of your more modern figures in there if you try. I got a piece coming out. Pretty cool. The back here, this engine part doesn't remove this engine cover, because remember, we used to have to take that off as a feature, but it does not happen here. We don't have, I think there's a hose used to go from here up to here. I haven't had my A.W.E. Striker out of the box. It's kind of packed away right now. So I think there was a hose there if I remember correctly. Don't know why there's a hole there. Maybe something I'm missing. It rolls relatively nicely. What's really cool about this, it's well seated. It sets nice, and all the wheels roll. It's no, like some of the Transformers are kind of wonky, but you can see here he rolls really nice on both sides. So he's pretty well got a good stance. Let's show you the top side. You have the G.I.JOE. This is all painted on Star. There's no decals or stickers or anything like that. American flag, some warnings there. This is pretty much the only spot you kind of see the Bumblebee chest. That's it. That's pretty much disposable. Unless you you look under the bottom, you can see, you know, a little bit of the yellow. But when it's sitting down, you pretty much don't see that yellow arm or anything, unless you're looking for it. Done very well. I mean, this is almost like having an A.W.E. Striker. So, one of the things I mentioned earlier in part 1 was these antennas. And they put them on, just, I'm not sure how easy it is to go on. Look at that. That's very nice. And I hope they, if we get another A.W.E. Striker again, they adapt these new pieces on. Because for storage purposes and you move your figure. What's really cool about this also, I like that you can articulate this too. If you wanted to look for a specific photographic shot, dynamic shot, you can manipulate these, you know, however you see fit within its range. I kind of like it at an angle versus just straight up. It kind of gives you a little bit of a coolness effect, in my opinion. I do like that. I think that looks awesome. Pretty cool. So let's take a look at Stalker, see how he fits. We're going to do a comparison with the G.I.JOE Retro Stingers that are available. Maybe sold out, I don't know. But they're very disappointing in my opinion. It's actually better quality plastic than those Stingers. This is nice. This is what those Stingers should be made out of. So, like I said, in there's quite a much room in there, so see if we need to bend the knees or not. Nope. Well, just kick this foot out from the gear shift there. I got my hands away so it's starting to get dark because I'm in front of the light. He sits back nicely. You can get the hands, I can see already, on the steering wheel if you absolutely had to have him on there. He sits very good for the O-ring, so your vintage O-ring should sit very nicely in here. And it's actually a little roomy in there. If you're moving around a little bit, that's why I'm having so many problems. So that's good to see that we can maybe get some of those modern figures in here if you want to, for whatever reason that you desire. So there he is. I mean, he's in there. That's very cool. Awesome. Very nice. Okay, there's our Retro Stinger. Up next to our Transformers Bumblebee A.W.E Striker. You can see that they hit it on the nail on scale-wise for the vehicle mode for Bumblebee, because you can put this right in with your G.I.JOE retro figures. And you can see that there's a waffle. Well, just to see how that looks, that just bugs me. I hate waffle Transformers. So you could fill that in with a tire, you know, charge extra for a couple of bucks or something to make it look like a tire instead of. It isn't too bad with the Stinger, because you can see that waffle tires, but on the A.W.E Striker on the front at least, that's kind of unsightly. So here we go with the size comparison from the side of these guys. I may have to back up a little bit, try. So as you can see, you can play with your Transformer G.I.JOE Bumblebee right on with your vintage figures. He's perfect fit, as you can see. That's the back of one. So they have a good start on the vehicle mode. They got a long way to go, in my opinion, on the robot mode. That back kibble is absolutely ridiculous, especially for the price of this thing. I mean, they're charging a ton of money just for 2 packs of the figures. It's like, what, 42 bucks to get like Cobra Commander and Duke. And I think this thing retail out the door started $68.99, I think, for the Bumblebee and Stalker set on Amazon and Hasbro Pulse. I think I got mine around just right before Christmas. It was like, I'd say like 54 or something on sale on Amazon. I mean, it was still, in my opinion, overpriced. This should be, and that's I'm going to be nice and say $15 figure to Hasbro, but it should be like $10 figures. But this gun is like a retro figure. I'm sorry, a Star figure, 15 bucks. 25 bucks for the vehicle, Transformer, Voyager class, maybe 30. So you're looking about, I think, a good price for that. 40 bucks is a nice price. So that's my opinion, but that's what it should be as. Alright, so let's go ahead and get Stalker out of there, and we will take a comparison with him and the Stinger drivers. I have 2 Stinger drivers because I got 2 Vamps that I'm regretting, but I have them now, so they sit on my shelf for whatever reason. So there you go. That's how Stalker compares to the Stinger drivers. Fits right in. Perfect. I don't know what's going on with my knees. These guys, both my figures are the same. That's it right there. And I'm afraid to push on them and break them because these things are sold out. Can't get them anymore. But Stalker's knees bend pretty nicely. I don't know what's going on with Stinger drivers. Shouldn't be a difference in design because it should be all the same for the most part overall for the articulation. Alright, for my final thoughts, robot mode, very fiddly, very kibble, very back heavy. Kibble on the back. It's fiddly. The chest on mine comes apart quite often. I mean, even tabbed in, it comes off relatively easy. Articulation is that kind of minor on the robot mode. It's okay. It's alright. I like it, but what really shines is the vehicle mode. No issue with the vehicle mode. I like it very much. Fits in perfectly. The Stalker figure, we all have issues with these figures, but I hope they continue with the figures and hopefully they continue to improve on them so we can have, all the retro figures that we all want, and vehicles too. So I'm gonna get out of here before the Stinger drivers take me to jail, to the Cobra prison, like they're taking Stalker. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below. And maybe somebody may show up and save Stalker before he goes to the Cobra prison. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next review.